Okay, welcome back to another Xbox app review. I'm your host Vegeta76, and this time around we're going to go on and review Free Manga Reader. This one I found, I forget actually how I found it. I don't think it's actually in the store. I don't want to jump in there. We can check it out later on. I think you might have to do a search for it. But this one here is pretty cool. There is only really one real flaw with it, and that is it takes a while to get started. So before I even started this video, I had to jumpstart this thing and it took like maybe a good like 3 to 5 minutes for it to buffer out and grab all the information and data and distribute it here. So as you can see, we're underneath the popular, and they got the latest update, new releases and all that good stuff. Some of your favorites are actually on the front screen at the home, underneath the home tab. You got One Piece, which is still going on. And you got Naruto and Bleach and Fairy Tail, stuff like that. I mean, if it's completed, it lets you know it's completed. If it's ongoing, it still shows it's ongoing. It pretty much has all the latest information here. So I thought it was pretty cool because like I do like dabbling into manga here and there. I'm not like a fanatic or anything like that, but since I watch a lot of anime, I tend to want to dabble into some of my favorite anime mangas and see a little bit more about them, because you know most of the stories on if you're watching like any anime or anything like that, some of them conclude on the on the screen, but the manga still goes on. Like Hunter X, for instance, as you can see, still ongoing, and which is pretty cool. It's one of my favorites, and you can read it. The show is excellent, but you got to know, like, the show is just a piece of it. So if you want to continue the story, you might want to get into the manga format. And so it's on the one. They have an app that's compatible. And let's see, the latest is 360. I think I read this one already. No, I think I'm a little bit before that. I gotta figure out where I'm at actually. I do believe this is like the next one after. But as you can see, it's in a manga reader format, which pretty much takes up kinda most of the screen and makes it legible for anybody to check out. And you have your little scrolling button here, and it keeps on going down the line. And I might want to read this for later. I think there's in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, you can see how many pages are in here. So it's 19 to it, so it lets you know what page you're on and how to do that. Keeps on going. Pretty cool, huh? So you can also return. So I'm trying to see, I guess I could just push B. Yeah, if you push B, it'll takes you right back to the previous page, which is pretty cool. So I'm trying to think if I'm on this one. I think I'm on this one. This is where I'm at actually. I'm on 359, and this is their departure, going to the Dark Continent. And there's a lot going on in this actual particular chapter, but I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. And actually, I just skipped ahead pretty much. So I mean, after the series ended, the animated portion of it, I didn't really continue afterwards. I just been dabbling, and I just said, you know what, let me just skip ahead. But I got some backtracking to do. But as you can see, you can go back to home, and you got the format right here. So you can do a search. Excuse me. You got Dragon Ball and stuff like that. So let's see. Like most of what I watch is already on the front page, but you can probably pick up something a little bit more not so mainstream. There was a good show called Claymore that kind of ended abruptly, and that was kind of like left hanging to what happened to like Claire and that kid and all that stuff. So the search engine is kind of wonky. So I'm not sure how that really works out, because I've tried it and I got the screen going black, and I'm not sure if it's going to pop back on and give me, my choice selection. So we got to work with that, and that's kind of a big thing if you want to actually see something. It's not cool if you can't like search it out. But let's see what happens. Let's give it like a couple minutes or a minute or two. I mean, it shouldn't take any longer than a minute to find something. So let me sip some coffee. Still nothing. So I'm guessing that either it's going to take a longer time to find something or it just can't do it. So I just have to go out of that and maybe try to find it in a different format or try to, you know, use their other search tools. Let's see what we got here. You got adventure, cooking, drama, blah, blah, blah. Let's try something like, wow, they got a lot going on. I don't even know if this even relates to like manga. Oh, it does. So it goes quickly to things. And we are in alphabetical order, so that's not a bad thing. So let's see if we can get down to the C's. No, nothing for that. Alright, so let's try to do a search for something that's actually on here. So Bacano. Well, let's just do something simple. Do a search for something simple and see if it pops up. Maybe they don't have anything for Claymore. Who knows? There you go. And that's probably the reason why that we couldn't find anything, is because there was nothing available. But for the most part, they have just about everything. And I'm not sure if Claymore went on afterwards or what happened. I was just curious, so I just did that. But the search engine is working. It's like I do believe if they have it, you can actually get to it pretty easy. Like Fairy Tale. I'm not sure if it's split or not. Let's see if we can split that. Probably just one word. Who knows? Yeah, it is, and it actually combines the word right there. So the search engine is pretty cool. Split it and combine. So it's actually, you know, pretty cool. I don't see the mainstream Fairy Tale in here unless it's like twiddled away in here, which it probably is. So let's go back out to the home. And, well, the Fairy Tale's right there. So, I mean, I guess you just got to do a little looking around and whatnot. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. Latest updated. Got the latest update right here. Got some stuff that's probably not so mainstream, but at least to me anyway. And there's only like one thing I think is missing. So while we have all this going on, and it's pretty cool, I do not see a place to save your favorites. But let's see if we can check this out. So you got the recent, which is kind of cool. You got your recent, or what you've seen, and what, you know, what you checked out. So I guess you can call this a favorite section, but to me it's just not really a favorite. Because, you know, I don't know how many you can store in here. So let's see if we do go back to, let's see, popular. Let's check out One Punch Man. Let's read some of it. Anything. Let's go to 69. That's pretty wide and and large right there. All right, so you got that going on. So let's go back to here. And you got your recent, and I do believe it's just going to take us to whatever. So you just have to, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, like, you can kind of say it's a favorite section, but you will have to track what you're reading. So if you're reading 69, then you might want to jot down on a piece of paper, that's where you're at. So when you jump into this, you can just go, bam, 69 right here, and you're done. So that's pretty cool. So I thought I would just, you know, touch base on this actual one of my favorite apps here, because it's something I can do while I'm laying down and I don't feel like using Kiss manga or whatnot. I can just actually jump onto the manga reader and get it in full screen format, and I can listen to, you know, some music in the background using the Xbox, you know, a little background music and whatnot. Or you can probably, let's see if you can do it. Let's see if you can manage the app, but if you quit it, trying to see if we can snap it too. Snap an app. It might not be there. It's not a snap app. So I mean, which makes sense. It wouldn't be a snap app, but hey, whatever. So check it out on the store. I'm not sure if it's here. Like I searched it out. I find all types of stuff that's not actually in the store. So that's why I do these videos, because like there's a lot of stuff in these app stores, but there's a lot of stuff that's just not. So you shop the whole store to see if Manga Reader pops up. Should. There it is. There you go. Free Manga Reader app. Now, let's go to the App Store. And one of the reasons is sometimes it's in there, sometimes it's not. It should be in here somewhere, I think. Search all apps. And it's in alphabetical order, so you should be able to find it down here. Let's see. Well, it's not in here, which means you have to do a search for it. Like I said, this is stuff like, you know, they do that sometimes for especially the good apps. You want the real good apps. It's not in here like that. You have to actually do a search. So you know you have to do a search. So a lot of people ask me, I don't see it. I don't see it. Yeah, you have to search it out in the search engine up here, search bar. Check it out and get it if you're into manga. So I know a lot of people in the anime club I'm in, they love it. So I'm going to share that there with them. So on that note, let me back out. Just please note that it does take a while to start up. It's not something that just starts up. If you click out of it, quit, and you go into Manga Reader, it might take a while. I'll rate it later, and that's what you're going to get. It's this buffering sign. So if you're doing that, once you go to the bathroom, make a sandwich and come back, and then a couple minutes later, it'll be up. But anyway, it works, and it works pretty good. So on that note, please like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.
You made me fool.